Rajesh is a legendary hero, fire element, druid class, and comes from the Wildcat family, where this family increases the chance to dodge special skill for each hero from a different family used. And Rajesh also has Aether power, namely Defense Up, where he gets plus 20% defense for 6 turns. Judging from this initial assessment, we can see that Rajesh's abilities lean towards defense. Judging from his base stats, Rajesh has high basic stats, especially in defense and attack. And Rajesh also has 2 passive skills. The first, Rajesh has innate resistance against status effects that affect defense and dodge. Second, Rajesh has a 75% chance to revive at the beginning of his next turn with 50% health and 75% mana. This skill effect can activate up to 9 times, and the chance to revive is reduced on each activation. This effect cannot be prevented with status ailments. Judging from these 2 passive skill effects, it will make Rajesh stronger in defense. And of course it will be quite difficult to defeat him in one attack, because Rajesh has a revival ability that I think is quite overpowered. Moreover, combined with his average mana generation, Rajesh will become a more effective support in the team. And Rajesh has a special skill called Royal Meatball Buffer, where his skill consists of 4 effects. The first and second, all allies bypass defensive buffs with their attacks for 4 turns, and all allies resist new negative mana effects for 4 turns. And for each successful bypass and resist effect, they will get a 20% increase in mana. The effect of this skill is counted as a buff, and its effect is quite good, because in addition to being able to bypass enemy buffs, it also makes allies immune to ailments that affect mana. And don't forget that allies have a chance to get additional mana, which will help allies to be able to cast special skills more often. The third effect safely cleanses all status ailments from all allies, and increases all allies' mana by 5% for each cleansed ailment. The effect of this third skill is counted as a cleanser, and its effect is also quite good because it does not trigger a second effect. Plus, the increase in mana is even greater if allies are hit by many ailments. And the fourth effect, namely all allies get plus 30% attack. This effect can be stacked up to 10 times. This effect is considered very good because it indirectly states that Rajesh can buff his allies' attacks up to plus 300%, and this effect will be very dangerous for the enemy team if the battle lasts longer. And when the effect of this skill, combined with his average mana generation, will make Rajesh good enough to fill the tank and flank positions in the defense and attack teams. As for the Titan attack team, Rajesh will also be very good to use, because he has a skill that can buff his allies' attacks, even up to plus 300%, which will make the tile damage and special skills cast by allies stronger and deal more damage to Titan. And for the raid tournament, Rajesh will be good enough to use in various types of tournaments, because his support ability is very reliable in the team, especially in the rush attack and buff booster tournaments. And judged from these aspects, Rajesh has an overall combat score of A+. And assessed overall, starting from class, family, Aether power, basic stats, passive and active skills, we can see that Rajesh has a very solid skill set to be considered a super support in the team. His active skill alone is enough to help all his allies during battle, where in my opinion mana increase is a very helpful ability in battle because its function can turn the situation into our favor. Plus, Rajesh has a bypass skill that makes allies not hesitate to attack enemies, especially if they have a pile of buffs. And even though Rajesh doesn't have the skill to heal his allies, at least he can cleanse ailments or deadly damage over time effects. And don't forget, his passive skill set will also help Rajesh a lot during battle, even making him almost invincible. And if there are no significant changes to Rajesh's basic stats, class, active and passive skills, then I can say that Rajesh is a strong hero who has the potential to become a meta in the future, and is definitely a hero you must have.